Alright everyone, what's going on? It's Rigo Sensei and I'm here to give my personal top 10 anime series of all time. This is what I've personally seen and what I personally enjoy. So guys, be sure to comment below on what's your personal favorite top 10. Also, around the end of the video, I will be giving some honorable mentions that did not make it, but were really close to making it. So let's get on to the list. And also I have my phone right here to remind me of the list because I have terrible memory. But at number 10 we have Durara, or Dur, whatever you want to call it. Pretty much if you've seen Durara or you've seen Baccano, you kind of know what you're getting yourself into. Durara is pretty much a series of a group of characters, like a huge cast of characters with their own conflicts, their own interactions with one another, and their own personal goal. I really like a setting of a town. I don't know why. I really like settings like that, and I love all of the characters in Durara. I love that they have their own personal goal, and you follow each character, and each character interacts with one another differently. Each character has their own personal relationship with another character, and I really love that. Again, if you've seen Durara, then you need to watch Baccano, and if you watch Baccano, you need to watch Durara. And that's number 10. At number 9, we have one that's recent, the most recent out of the list, and that's Shougenroku Rakugo Shinju. Shougenroku pretty much is a series of a group of characters, a small group of characters this time, but it's really dialogue heavy. So if you're not into the whole dialogue heavy type of show, then this might not be for you. But it really is a series about storytelling. That's kind of what Rakugo is. It's a old-fashioned style of storytelling, and we get to see the characters, our protagonists, I guess you could say. We see their struggles with Rakugo, how they're trying to keep it alive because they're trying to keep it alive for future generations to come. And I just really love Shougenroku. Again, it's really slow because you're not getting any action. It's all dialogue when you're watching this series. But I would still recommend that. It's different. It's a lot different than any other anime series today. And at number 8, we have Kekai Sensen, or Blood Blockade Battlefront, whichever one you want to call it. I really love this series. It's really fun to watch. The art style is really good. The animation is really good too. The fight scenes are really good. The story is really good. Like overall, this show was really fun to watch. It's just really fun, and if you watch it, then I would really suggest you guys watch it dubbed. The show is really supernatural. Like, it has all types of different supernatural beings in it, from vampires to just monsters. It's really crazy, but it's really fun to watch. And that's my number 8, Kekai Sensen, Blood Blockade, whatever you want to call it. It's an awesome watch. I definitely recommend it. And at number 7, we have Helsing Ultimate. Now, when I first watched Helsing Ultimate, it was so different than the original Helsing that I seen, because this time it really follows the manga, and I really enjoyed that. The fight scenes in this were really brutal. This is something that obviously you can really watch during Halloween time, which is really coming up, and it's really bloody. It's really fun. It doesn't take itself too seriously, but it does at the same time. It knows when to take itself seriously, because it'll have random jokes or whatnot, and the characters will go really goofy at certain points. So it knows when to have fun with the series, and I really enjoy that. Helsing Ultimate is really a good watch. It's only 10 episodes, but each episode is like an hour each. So you can get through it in like one sitting or maybe 2 sittings. It's not really a long series, but again, it's really fun. It's really bloody and gory. So if you're not into that, then I definitely wouldn't recommend Helsing Ultimate. But that's just me, and that's my number 7. And at number 6, we have Parasite, which is one of my favorites. I love Parasite so much. If you watch Tokyo Ghoul, then you'll already fall in love with Parasite. It kind of has the same premise to it, except they're not ghouls. They're pretty much aliens. And our protagonist, Shinichi, he's trying to pretty much live with knowing that he has a parasite on his right hand, which is Migi. And Migi is a character on his own. Migi's trying to understand the world, and they're both trying to understand each other while other parasites are trying to take over the world. And I really just enjoyed this series because Shinichi really changed throughout this series. He went from a normal kid to at the end like just a totally different person. So I really love like characterization and stuff like that. And Parasite really does have that, and I really recommend Parasite for you guys because character development is really strong in that series, and also the fight scenes are really cool. So I really do recommend Parasite. At number 5, we have Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Now, Full Metal Alchemist, the original, is kind of what helped me get into anime because it was one of the first few anime that I really seen, and it really just, it stuck to me, the original one. And Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood is really good too. Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood to me is the perfect shonen. Like it has everything a shonen wants, but it doesn't have any flaws to it. Personally, to me, that's just my opinion. It just doesn't have any flaws to it. Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood is a perfect shonen, and it's a perfect gateway for people to get into anime. But just because it's perfect doesn't mean that it's my favorite. The plot of Full Metal is, of course, if you guys don't know, the Elric brothers, some stuff happens to their mom, and they want to resurrect her with their alchemy, and things go wrong again for them to where one loses some limbs and the other loses his body entirely, and he's in a piece of armor pretty much. And they go on the adventure to find the Philosopher's Stone to get parts of their bodies back, or their entire body back. And Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, I know I'm spending kind of a lot of time on this, but it's so much to say about this. It touches on a lot of subjects such as war, revenge, and just all types of like touching and deep topics. And it's so good because, again, this is what a shonen is supposed to do. This is what One Piece does. This is what Naruto does. But they don't have flaws to it. And I really appreciate that with Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. And I definitely recommend you guys watch it. It's like 60 so episodes. Not too bad. You can watch it in a few days. But I definitely recommend you guys watch that. Next up on the list, we have Samurai Champloo. Samurai Champloo, I did a review on this, like a full-on review on this. Be sure to watch that to get like the full-on details on Samurai Champloo. But to sum it all up, it's a group of, or a trio of characters, and they're on their way to find a samurai who smells of sunflowers. Each character is different than one another. Samurai Champloo really has a hip-hop vibe to it, but it stays with the whole Japanese culture. I really appreciate Samurai Champloo because the characters are so fun to watch. The adventure they go on is really fun to watch and enjoy. And the fight scenes and art is really nice, especially for its time, which came out just about 10 years ago, if not over 10 years ago. So I definitely recommend you guys watch Samurai Champloo. It's a really fun time to watch. And yeah, guys, just check it out. And number 3, we have Welcome to the NHK. Man, this is a series that really touched me. I really love this series, but I can't watch it over and over because this is a really deep show. I think this is the deepest show out of my whole list. It's a really dark comedy. It pretty much, the plot of it is a hikikomori Sato. If you guys don't know what a hikikomori is, pretty much it's a guy who doesn't go outside. He doesn't socialize. He's in his room or in his house all day, just doing nothing, and that's kind of sad. And he's being a hikikomori until one day a girl shows up at his door, and she pretty much just wants to change who he is. And that's the basic plot for Welcome to the NHK. Again, it touches on a lot of dark shit like suicide, drug abuse. It's really dark. So if you guys want to watch something dark and deep, then watch Welcome to the NHK. It's pretty depressing, I'll be honest, but it's really good. It's a really good show to watch. Now, the next 2 on my list is something I really had a hard time choosing which one's number 1 and 2, but I chose these 2 for a certain reason. Number 2 is Hunter x Hunter, or Hunter x Hunter, whichever one you want to call it. I love the world of Hunter x Hunter. I love the world so much. And when I say Hunter x Hunter, I mean the 2011 reboot, remake, whatever you want to call it, because there was one in the 90s. but I'm talking about the 2011 adaptation. This is a really good show. Like, that's all I could really say. Pretty much, it follows a young boy, Gon, and he finds a few friends, Leorio, Kurapika, and Killua, and they're on their way to become a hunter. And hunters pretty much go around the world exploring. They can do pretty much almost whatever they want. Just with a hunter, you get a pass for it. And Gon's on his way to become a hunter to find his father, Gene. And at first, Hunter x Hunter really seems like a kid-friendly show. Like, the first 20 episodes really seems kid-friendly. But when you get to the York New, the Chimera Ant Arc, Greed Island, it gets dark. Like, it gets really dark. They touch on genocide, and it's really dark. But it's still considered a shonen. And it's brutal. This is one of the most brutal shonens that I've seen. If you guys watched Yu Yu Hakusho, it's the same person that made Yu Yu Hakusho, Tagashi. And the reason why I put this at number 2 is because it's on constant hiatus. Honestly, if Tagashi were to feel actually better, and he has health problems, if he felt better, then maybe Hunter x Hunter probably would have been finished by now, because Hunter x Hunter's been out for a long time. But he's constantly sick, and I think that's why I put it on number 2, is because the ending is incomplete, and that's why I gave it number 2. Again, the animation for it's really good. Madhouse did the 2011 adaptation. Be sure to watch that. It's one of the best series out there right now, and that's number 2. Number 1, if you know me, you know what my number 1 is, and that's JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I love this show to death. This show has so much flair to it. It has so much style to it. It's not even funny. Like, I'll be honest, I didn't like part 1 that much. I wasn't too crazy about it. But when part 2 kicked in, that's when I started really getting into JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. There's so much to say about it. The characters, each part has its own different character. Each part has its own, like, story. Like, so every part you get a new story, but it's still JoJo, and I really like that. The abilities are crazy. The fight scenes are crazy. It's not brute force with JoJo. It's like they're thinking on how to defeat each other with counters. It's crazy. Like, this is a really crazy show, and it's tough to put this on number 1 too, because the anime is kind of not finished either. There are 8 parts as of right now. There are 8 parts in a manga, and we just finished part 4 last year, and we have no confirmation on part 5 being announced as an anime adaptation. So it was kind of hard to choose between an incomplete series, well, pretty much two incomplete series on number 2 and number 1, but I had to put JoJo on there because I really love this show. Alright, and now we have the honorable mentions. I'm pretty sure you guys will catch on to why I didn't put these on my top 10, because it's kind of obvious. It's not even a number. Honorable mentions, I have Naruto. If you guys heard of anime, then you pretty much already know what Naruto is. The story of a young boy who wants to become the best ninja out there, or the leader of other shinobi ninjas, which is the Hokage. Again, if you know what anime is, you know what Naruto is. Love it or hate it, you know Naruto. I grew up with Naruto, and Naruto Shippuden kind of turned me like, but that's kind of why I put as honorable mention again. That, and because it's kind of obvious to put on like a top 10, and I want to be a little different. We have Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball GT, Dragon Ball Super, whatever you want to call it, Dragon Ball, the franchise. Again, this is something a lot of people put on their top 10s. I don't want to do that because it's like a cop out. Same thing for One Piece. I love One Piece, but again, that's a cop out. We have Cowboy Bebop. Again, another cop out. I love Bebop, but that's just another cop out for my top 10. We have Bleach. Now, Bleach, I wouldn't say is a cop out because no one really appreciates Bleach like that, and kinda in a sense like JoJo, Bleach has its own set of style, which I really appreciate. The character design in Bleach is like, whoa, wow. It's great. The character design in Bleach is great. The powers in Bleach is great. They put a lot of effort in Bleach, and Bleach, it's really good. Like, that's all I can really say. Spice and Wolf, I really love Spice and Wolf. Like, that's one of my favorite romance animes out there. I just love Spice and Wolf. Like, it's great. Kuroko's Basketball, I'm not even into sports like that, but Kuroko's Basketball really got me into basketball, and it's just a great series. We have Fairy Tail. I love watching Fairy Tail. Something to really just relax to. I don't take it too seriously, but I just watch it just to watch it. Soul Eater, the ending for it kind of ruined it for me, but it's still a great watch. Soul Eater is really fun. Here's one that I know that's different. That's Silver Spoon. It's a really big slice of life. Follows, I think it's agricultural classes. I really didn't think I like it that much, but it's really just fun to watch. It's really relaxing, and it's funny. Like, I definitely recommend you guys watch Silver Spoon. And we have last one, Yuri on Ice. This is another one I really didn't think I would really enjoy, but I ended up enjoying it a lot more than what I thought I would. The art style is really good. Animation, it goes so and so, but I really did enjoy Yuri on Ice. I can't wait for it to come back. And that's going to do it for my top 10 anime list. What do you guys think about it? Comment below. By the way, I know I'm kind of late on saying this, but if you heard noise in the background, that's my fan. It's hot as hell out here. But that's going to do it for my top 10. Again, comment below, give this video a thumbs up, and subscribe. And yeah, guys, I'll see you guys on my next video.